Now for the news. There are four main groups that help segregation: the NAACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People; CORE, which is Congress of Racial Equality; the SCLC, Southern Christian Leadership Conference; and the SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee.
The NAACP was made in 1909, and the SNCC was made in 1960. Also, the SCLC was created in 1957. And finally, CORE was created in 1947. The NAACP co-organized the March on Washington and lobbying for legislation that resulted in the 1964 Civil Rights Act and Voting Act.
SCLC helped with the SNCC, the Albanian movement, for protests in Georgia. It was the first campaign considered nonviolent.
The CORE mainly challenged segregation in the 50s and became one of the leading organizations in the civil rights movement.
And now for the weather. Josh, where'd you go? How'd you get over there?
Thank you, Josh. For today's forecast, it's going to be 85 and sunny, and for a low, it's going to be 60 with only a slight chance of rain.
Maybe a little more slight. Maybe a little more than slight. This just in, from Alaska and Hawaii, there has just been a tsunami that has had 61 casualties. I'm out.
What? How did you go? How are you here?
And now for our sports.
Okay. Sports with Surge. That's it, just Surge. No last name, just Surge.
Sports with Surge! Your athletic highlights through the 60s. Frank Robinson was traded from the Cincinnati Reds to the Baltimore Orioles in 1966. Robinson also brought home baseball's coveted Triple Crown Award, in which he won the batting average, RBI, and home run titles, becoming only the 9th player ever to do so. Robinson also became the first player to win an MVP in both leagues. The 1965 World Series featured two teams that had come from 6th place in 1964 all the way back to prominence. The Cleveland Browns won the NFL championship with a 27-0 victory over the Baltimore Colts. In the AFL, the Buffalo Bills brought the city its first major sports championship with a 20-7 win over the San Diego Chargers. In 1964, one of the best organized and most successful Olympic Games in history was held in Japan. Japan was the first Asian nation ever to host the Olympics. 25 world records were broken, and 52 of 61 possible Olympic records were also broken. The game's brightest track and field stars were Bob Hayes, Peter Snell, and Bekilia Ababe. And now, a word from our sponsors.